you make a good point. You might be right about that. But I gotta ask you about Shyne. How you feel about him coming out, reacting to Diddy getting indicted? He made a comment that went viral. He said that Diddy ruined his life.
Well, Shyne, what he said about him being an 18-year-old kid, he was right. He should have known better than to pull out that gun in the club and start shooting. He should have known better. Puff had enough security there, and that night, Wolf, his people, and a couple of security guards, if they needed to do that, let them take care of that. So he has to take responsibility for his own action, which I think he's done. Shyne is a politician. They're gonna take money, they're gonna take trips, they're gonna take a lot of to help their political rise. Now, did Puff ruin his life? Yeah, because Puff helped the prosecutor put Shyne behind bars by getting the witnesses and giving them to the prosecutor so Shyne could have that fall. All three of them, Wolf, Anthony Wolf Jones, Puff, and Shyne, all had the same crimes. All was charged with the same thing. But when Shyne didn't want to be a part of Puff's lawyer, that means that gave them an avenue to make Shyne the fall guy. And that's what they did. They made Shyne the fall guy. Shyne wasn't the only one up in there shooting, but he's the only one went to jail. So he right about Puff making him the fall guy, and he's right about being 18 years old. But he's wrong for not taking the responsibility of what he did, but he did do that in a sense because he did his 10 years in his time.
Yeah, that was crazy to see, man. To see Shyne speaking on that shooting. Him saying that he tried to protect Diddy and Diddy turned on him.
Yeah, but I said that on one of your shows a couple of years ago, and nobody believed me. I'm capping. But here goes Shyne comes out, tell the same story. He knew it to be true. The people in the street team and some security people, they knew people who was at the club. And by them knowing people that was at the club and they said they witnessed, they saw stuff, they brought them in and they told Puff. And then Puff turned them over to their lawyers, and then their lawyers got the information, making sure that they wasn't going to talk or say anything that Puff had to do with any of the shooting in the club. So then those witnesses was turned over to the prosecutor. The prosecutor then interviewed them and made them witness against Shyne.
Not cool at all, man. They did Shyne dirty. You think it's possible that Keefe D, he might try to pit Tupac murder on Diddy?
Well, he already said that, but that's a state case. You understand? If the state proves their case, they have to show it to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor, he could charge Diddy with that, but it has to be evidence that could be proven in the court of law. So by Keefe D saying that, it doesn't make a bit of difference. They got to have proof. Where's the gun? Where's the tape that said Diddy said he said that? Where's the witnesses? Keefe D? Oh no. Keefe D is a gangster. Keefe D is a gang member. Keefe D just trying to make things easier for himself. That's what the prosecutor is going to look at. And then the defense is going to tear us up about saying this, that, and the third. But I believe that they wouldn't even try to do that because they'll look at their charges and see how can they bring their charges into that case. How could they bring that 2Pac over into Puff case for racketeering, for they still would have that legitimate evidence, and they don't view Keefe D as being evidence enough or having enough evidence to bring Diddy into this case.
But what about the alleged hit that Diddy put on Tupac? You know, the check for $1 million?
Well, that $1 million check, and like I said before, is that not one individual ever came out and never said, well, Zip never had $1 million check. All they said was, come on, why would somebody pay somebody $1 million to do this? I never said they paid him to do anything. I said that after Pac's death, we saw that Zip had a check for $1 million. He said he got the check from a person in prison and Barry Hickerson for Black Ground Records. Me and my friend didn't know Zip had a record label or Zip was involved in the record label. And we did not even think at the time it had anything to do with Pac. Not one investigator, not one person said that Zip did not have a check from Black Ground Records, because that could easily be traced. Even if he cashed it at a check cashing place, you still could trace that shit.
We're going to see. But how you feel about the people that's saying that the evidence they got on Diddy is not solid?
My man, I already said that Little Rob case that he submitted reads like an indictment. And he had videotape. You only need one witness. People could say what they want to say. They don't know the federal law when it comes to sex trafficking. If the federal law says sex trafficking, all you need is one individual. Cassie was a girlfriend, Cassie was an employee, Cassie was a victim. You need one other sex worker that traveled interstate from one state to another to perform a paid act. You got one guy that's in federal custody right now, Jonathan Odie, that said he did that. One person will get you 15 years on one act. So whatever people think they know, they better do their homework. Because the feds will definitely school your ass.